If you are still using copywriting frameworks, chances are you don't know what you are doing and you are limiting your potential. Frameworks suck, which is why in this video I'm going to explain to you why that is and what the alternative to frameworks is, so you have the best possible chance of making progress in the game of copywriting without having to hold yourself back. So let's talk about the lesson on why frameworks suck, guys. I'm very excited to have you here because this is a kind of fundamental lesson on everything I teach basically. So yeah, let's get right into it, guys. So first of all, we need to talk about why frameworks even exist in the first place, frameworks for emails, landing pages and calls, like, DIC, PAS or HSO, whatever, there are like certain landing page frameworks, or for the call, like, the doctor framework, blah, blah, blah. It's not about frameworks, guys, and I'm going to explain to you why that is, Frameworks solely exist as training wheels, especially for beginners. Their only purpose, the only purpose is to simplify complex topics with give you structure and make it easier to practice without getting overwhelmed, guys, So the only purpose should be to simplify complex topics, but people are not only using it for that, and I'm going to expose this whole thing. So yeah. The catch is that frameworks are not the truth, guys, even though it makes practice like very easy, because you have structure and so on, Frameworks are simply not the truth, They are just a lens, not the whole picture. If you rely on them too much, you never truly understand the fundamental principles, the fundamental underlying principles behind why things work the way they do, You are not learning to think, you are just following instructions, guys. You are just following the framework, And that's a beginner thing to do, And in the long run, following frameworks, even though they might work in the short term, following them in the long run will create a ceiling for you, You will start feeling stuck because the framework just starts to limit your creativity, your intuition, and your potential, You will limit yourself because you're operating inside of the boundaries that the framework is giving you. You're not like looking into the next level, You're not like, I don't know what the concept is I want to talk about, like the analogy on English, but it's something like with the table, the thing you eat from, bro. I don't even know what I'm talking about, but yeah, that's why on this whole YouTube channel, guys, I teach you to understand the underlying actual concepts of marketing and sales, I don't teach you frameworks on this channel. I teach you how to actually use the fundamental concepts of marketing and sales, because I don't want to be teaching you stuff that is going to make you lose in the long run. I'm going to go with the no fluff approach, even though it might be harder to consume and I would get more views if I talk about frameworks, but I am not going to do that simply because I promise you that I am going to give you as much value as possible, and I want you guys to see results and become a better person, even if you have to go with the harder path, the harder way of things, which is the way I teach, Don't just go all in on outreach at the beginning. Learn everything before that and go into outreach at last, because that's what's guaranteeing for success for you. So yeah, I don't want to be selling you on making money fast, because that's not going to work, guys. With me, you understand the actual reality of things, because I'm just speaking from my soul. I talk about the things that actually worked for me, So yeah, a little rant on the side. The ones I teach you about the actual concepts behind getting attention and how to nurture it to like getting trust or whatever the final stage may be, It's also exploitation, but we are not going to talk about something kind of shady or like immoral in this video. Maybe in another video. So yeah, we'll talk about the concepts that allow you to genuinely understand how the human mind really works, And the best thing about that is that we don't even have to figure this out on our own, because the work has already been done. The human race already understands really psychopathic ways to control other human beings, And this can be good, but it also can be really, really bad. But for this video, we are only going to speak about psychology in terms of like making money, or like, the underlying concepts of like marketing and sales, which usually is not going to be used against you, except like for stuff like gambling, casino and stuff, or like gaming, But yeah, entrepreneurship can also be very shady, but that's not what this video will be about. So yeah. It is just about finding the perfect sources that teach you these concepts, and cutting out all of the fluff that doesn't work, but also learning them plus utilizing these into your own life, like all of those concepts, right? And I kind of figured out the best sources there are in order to learn about these concepts without like seeing too much fluff in them, So yeah, and I am going to explain to you what these are and show them to you. So yeah, let's get right into the first one, guys. First one being niched online synthesizers or coaches, So first of all, you need to understand, that's why I like write niche before that. You can't learn like everything at the beginning, You need to start somewhere. You can't like just learn like marketing and sales. That's so vague to talk about marketing and sales. You would have to learn everything, but you have to start somewhere. And also in specificity, there lies more money and more opportunity because the demand should be like high if you choose like the right niche, but the actual supply of people teaching this thing isn't really that big, So the more specific the problem gets, like the more expertise you need for that thing, you can also charge more money. But that's a topic for another video, guys. Niched online synthesizers and coaches are someone, without wanting to glaze myself, someone like I am, I teach you these concepts kind of niche down to the angle in which you make money with copywriting online. That's what I basically teach. I teach you marketing and sales, or like fundamental concepts of marketing and sales in regards to copywriting and making money, So not like the whole world of marketing and sales, but in that particular niche, of like making money online with copywriting. But there are also like niched guys talking about the carnivore diet, So if you want, but okay, this is like more of a concept in regards to not marketing and sales, but more so about like fitness and stuff. But yeah, in terms of like let's say making money online, a niche like crypto creator or something, teaching you how to make money with crypto. He's also, okay, crypto is also not marketing and sales. Okay, I'm kind of spinning around here, but like for any cash flow activity, for let's say drop shipping, because this is actually utilizing concepts of marketing and sales, like with a flashy hook in the beginning. Now I finally understood something I can talk about with like actual marketing and sales. Crypto is not one of it because it doesn't require like any humans in the business. But yeah, niched online synthesizers and coaches, I kind of spinned around right here, as very good for like, is a very good source for learning about the fundamental concepts of marketing and sales. Now to niche the books, guys. This is also something I didn't do personally, but there are like very good books on marketing and sales in regards to making money, for example, So that's also a source you can learn from, but also DeepSeek, guys, And if we talk about marketing and sales, and also like the really deep ingrained ones, the really hard to find ones, because they can be utilized for very bad stuff in this whole world, you are not going to get this information out of ChatGPT because it has like a very good moral compass. It's like very good at trying to be prolific. It's like a little bit more on the liberal side of things, like very humanistic and very like empathic, I think is the word I'm searching for. Like he's really friendly, you could kind of say. But with DeepSeek, if you go like with the Think model, like the advanced one, the kind of boosted one, he will throw morality out of the window and he will give you everything that you ask for. So let's say you do like a very big prompt. Like prompt engineering is also like a skill in and of itself, like being able to get the output you want to receive if you put a certain input into ChatGPT, DeepSeek is very good for giving you unfiltered information about topics that might be considered as immoral or even illegal, so shady or illegal. But if you make it like a big prompt saying something, I want to manipulate my whole audience into buying my stuff, but I still want to give them actual value and stuff, teach me about all of these things, and he will talk about like what's in it for me and blah blah blah, so DeepSeek is very good for finding very specific, it's like in China AI, by the way, if you didn't know that, very good for finding very specific but also immoral, shady or even illegal practices to manipulate human beings or like to avoid taxes even or whatever, because he's going to present to you everything in theory. He's just saying, yeah, it's your choice if you want to do that, but of course don't do it, kind of funny. I like how DeepSeek works. So yeah, this is also going to help you with like very niched kind of fundamental concepts of marketing and sales. But now to like get back on track in terms of copywriting, guys, as for the underlying concepts and stuff like emails, landing pages, webinars or VSLs, or how to handle sales calls as a freelancer, because frameworks for all of these things exist, you know. Guys, I have videos on these topics, you know. I'm not going to explain every single framework and fundamental underlying concepts in this video, because simply the video would be way too long and I can't talk about everything in here. Yeah, I have videos on these topics, you know, in which I tell you about the underlying concepts of these things, you know. Like I have like a whole client closing guide telling you exactly the real framework you need to operate on in terms of like closing clients and stuff, but also for landing pages, VSLs, everything kind of, you know. So just look for these videos, look for like my outreach concepts. There's also like no outreach framework, it's just straight up the truth, you know. So yeah, you will understand something in these videos. I also kind of talk about frameworks, but these are not really frameworks, you know, because I got to the absolute ground of things, you know. And I'm going to give you one last example so you really understand what I mean by going to the absolute ground of things and kind of making it to the point where it isn't a framework, where it's actually just like the fundamental concept. So yeah, problem, agitate, solution is like a copywriting email framework. So you talk about the problem in the beginning, then you agitate, you kind of like frame it in a sense and explain it kind of in a sense, you know, and then you give like the solution to the thing. Yeah, click this link if you want to get this problem solved, you know. Agitate is kind of like tickling them a little bit. You guys all get the idea, you know. Or like another one would be disrupt, intrigue, click, or hook, story, offer, whatever, you know. These are like copywriting frameworks. But let's talk about what the actual perfect email framework really is while utilizing underlying fundamental principles and concepts. So yeah, problem is just the hook. You scare the guy sitting behind the screen, you know. Oh, this problem, you know, you have this problem or whatever, you know. Because people only react, which is like fundamental psychology, to opportunities or threats, you know. So a problem is kind of a threat, you know, and if you kind of show them, oh, he's talking about this problem and I'm going to solve it for you, it's going to capture attention because we talk about an opportunity or threat. So the first thing we are going to do, and the framework I give to this thing, is we will put the what's in it for me. It's also kind of like a framework, but you know, it's the actual topic you are going to talk about, the hook, the opportunity, the threat, the thing, the mechanism, you are going to talk about it. You are going to introduce the thing, you know. It's the fucking hook, the what's in it for me. I talk about it like it's what's in it for me because hook is too niched in my opinion. Hook is more so about like visual and auditive, you know, like listening in a short or something. But what's in it for me is like the over-categorized thing I want to really be talking about. Agitate is basically where you know, like human psychology, you explain the thing, you go in depth into the thing, you show the mechanism, you explain the thing, you explain the concept, you tell the story. It's just like the main part, you know. You deliver on your promises, you follow up on the hook, you follow up on the what's in it for me, you just explain the thing. So from now on, it's just what's in it for me, and then it is explaining the thing or explaining the mechanism, talking about the opportunity, talking about the threat, you know. It's just explaining the thing, you know, because people, of course, human psychology, want what has been promised to them, you know. So why do we need to put PAS on top of this? It's just what's in it for me, explaining the topic, and the last one will be, in terms of solution, this is basically a CTA in the end always, because you are only going to leave people on you leave them on a cliffhanger, you know. You want to get them intrigued for the next email or like for the next step in the video. So yeah, for the S part, it's kind of like CTA, you know, like, or last CTA is kind of the thing, you know. CTA is the underlying framework. Tell them what to do next. What's the next stage? You know, you can also call the stage cliffhanger, but the perfect framework for emails is not PAS or HSO. It's just what's in it for me, explaining the thing, mechanism, opportunity, threat, whatever you are talking about, you know. And the last thing is just CTA, basically the thing that is going to drive an action. Because why is it CTA, you might ask yourself? Copywriting is just there for using words to persuade people into doing something. So of course, with every copy, there comes an actionable step. You know, it can be purchasing a program, opening the next email, clicking the link in this email, whatever. You always want to persuade people into doing something, you know? And it doesn't have to be always like purchasing a program. It can also be like other sub stages that come before actually purchasing the program. So yeah, what's in it for me, or like introducing the mechanism, topic, story, whatever, explaining the thing, opportunity, threat, or whatever, and giving a CTA. That's like the fundamental concept of marketing and sales in regards to emails. But I have videos on this, so go check them out, guys. Yeah. Hope you've enjoyed this video, guys. Kind of a long one. If you want even more source on copywriting, outreach, or fundamental concepts of marketing and sales, feel free to join my free school. There's a link in the bio telling you exactly, there's like a free 2-hour outreach masterclass in there, which tells you exactly how to get your very first client in the next 4 to 8 weeks if you are willing to put in the work and if you already have the service delivery side of things figured out. Yeah, there are only 141 people in there, so it's still pretty early, guys. There will be thousands of people in there. And it's almost like a paid mentorship because you can ask me questions in there. I will also review your outreaches that you send to people. Yeah, so it's the only place you ever need to be at. I essentially mentor you for free. You can just ask me questions in there completely for free. So yeah, hope to see you inside of this. Hope to see you in the next video, which is the CTA, by the way. Yeah, hope to see you next video. Bye-bye.